Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for yet another day. Indeed, it's a beautiful day, and I don't take it for granted. This is Salim Cyrus, and you can refer to me as a life coach, spiritual mentor, and kingdom strategist. You know, my main aim is to ensure that each one of us get structured, especially when it comes to relationships, when it comes to understanding spirituality, when it comes to understanding the marketplace. And I'm so sure if we are ready to learn, it will be for us to get it right every other day, because it's in the place of learning that we get to see the evidences of what is true and definite. So today I want to talk about something simple for us to get to understand. I really want to talk about, having the ability to have knowledge. So the lack of knowledge is what is destroying humanity, and it's quite unfortunate. Look at what is happening in our society right now. People are losing the essence of the matter because of trying to prove themselves in certain ways that do not add up. So what do I mean? When you look into our way of living, especially in Africa, you get to see that we are still behind. And there's so much that we can do and so much that we can bring to our attention by addressing these issues. But the problem is we are so lost by trying to prove ourselves. So what do I mean by trying to prove ourselves? Look at what the African culture has been made to think. That if you buy a car, if you build a house, if you have a good business somewhere that is bringing probably 100K, it will make you think that, you're wealthy and all that. But the reality is there's much more beyond what you're thinking. And that is why the systems of this world will create a certain perception to make you think that if you continue doing ABCD, doing certain things, at the end of the day, you will get whatever you want. But let me tell you, my brothers and sisters, today, it is important for each one of us to be structured in something that will build us and take us to the next level. So I want to talk about the lack of knowledge, especially in Africa. The other day I was just listening to this man by the name Frank Zanu. And there's so much that I was trying to figure out concerning the seriousness of developments that are supposed to happen in Africa. But it is quite unfortunate. A bigger percentage of African countries are not in the verge of getting to the first world countries because of the politicians we elected. Why am I saying politicians and not leaders? It is because in Africa we don't have leaders. Most of these people are politicians. It is either there is a coup that the military takes over, or an old politician keeps on, fighting to be in that position for the rest of his life. Leaders take time, and leaders handle situations not based on what they really want to prove, but based on what they want to bring for the, to safeguard, the purposes of a nation. But it is quite unfortunate. We keep on electing these people, and we keep on allowing these people to take those positions because they determine those positions by war. They determine those positions by trying to destructure good men who are willing to put that, their countries to a better place. Why is it when African countries are fighting to have independence from these elite fools that the Europeans can never come and rescue? It is because they thrive from our poverty. They thrive from our wars. They thrive from our ignorance. And that is why in this moment I want to talk to us and let us know that the uninformed cannot get it right. And any time when the people begin to awaken, people begin to come to the truth, and people begin to arise, the elite fools will try to bring them down because they know that they've been thriving based on the ignorances of its own people. And in this moment, I want to structure this thing and bring us to a place of understanding that the only way we can better ourselves, it's all about coming to what we call knowledge. Knowledge is fundamental. You know, the good book tells us that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. And it is true. It is very true. And that is what politicians have been thriving on. People lack knowledge. Look at what the politicians will do. They will come and campaign in places that do not have, substance or anything. And they will give promises that they will never fulfill. Because politics and religion, government systems and religion are the same. They will promise you that there will be something that is great, something that is beautiful, something that is, out of this world. But the reality is it will never be established. It will never be, it will never come to a place of fruition, because at the end of the day, it's all about them winning. When people come to that knowledge of getting everything right, they will suppress you. They will depress you, compress you, stress you, and make you think that you don't deserve the world. But this is the reality, my dear brothers and sisters. It is important for each one of us now to come to the place of knowing that knowledge is what will take us out of this elite fools ideology, because they will trigger us to make us think that if we keep on fighting for what we call the development of our nation, they will only tell us what we want to hear, but they will never fulfill. So lack of knowledge is something that is so rampant, especially in most countries in the world. The other day I just came across one of a talk from Frank Zanu, and he was saying, do you know that the sub-Saharan African, according to statistics, they have an IQ of 70. And medically, when you go to the doctors, medically, they tell us that anyone that has an IQ of 70 is considered retarded. Quite unfortunate. That means Africans, most of us, we are retarded. We don't know what to do. Let me give an example, especially here in Kenya. Look at the border sector and look at the matatu sector. These people are, they don't know how to behave. The transport system in that area is not even working because of the indiscipline and the structures that were put. And people can see that this system is not even working. They are very rude and very incompetent. The young men do not know how to deal with their people. The way they drive, the way they do things. It's like all the border riders in Africa or in Kenya. They don't know what to do, and they think all the same, because they want to make us think that they own the world and they own the country. The other day I was talking to a matatu driver, and he was telling me, apart from from other systems, for us, we pay our taxes every day. Do you know what that means? It is because of the incompetence that we are having, even with our police sector. Nothing is happening and nothing is being done. And that is how the elite fools thrive. So what do I mean? There are structures that are supposed to be put in place. Structures that will build and take us to the next level. But people don't want to get into that ideology that will develop a substance that will create something that people will benefit from. Why is it that the system only wants us to depend on employment rather than us coming to a place of understanding how the system functions? It is because they want to create what we call dependency. They want you and I to keep on depending on them. They want you to depend on what we call a salary. But at the end of the day, it's all about the elite fools thriving at the expense of its own people losing their way. So the beauty of the matter is this: knowledge is key. Back in the days when we were still young, they used to tell us that education is the key. But now, education without proper structure does not breed any positive fruit. And it is important that we gain a knowledge that will take us from poverty. What do I mean by poverty? It is not the poverty based on the lack of money, lack of food, and lack of shelter. It is the poverty of mind. And many of us have lost our ways because how we deal with situations and how we deal with everything that is happening in our society, we cannot get it right because we've been made to think that employment, that mere jobs is what will make us wealthy, while the elite fools thrive on our ignorance. What do I mean, my dear brothers and sisters? It is a high time that we structure ourselves. We have what we can change this nation from to. And it is important, if we get into that level, we will benefit. We will increase indeed. I was looking at other countries in the world and I figured out that there is a lot that so many people were doing and Africans are not doing. It's only for us to take responsibility. Let us not elect politicians who will play politics with our lives. Let us elect leaders who will do great by our side. This is my take home. Knowledge is key, and it is important for us to take responsibility and the initiative of building ourselves and structuring ourselves in what will take us into the next level. For more information, go to www.salimcyrusconnect.org or www.salimcyrus.com. Please subscribe and follow and share this very video so that it can reach to as many people as it can. Thank you so much and take responsibility.